Hello, everyone. Um, Thank you for joining me. And if you're watching this after the fact, thank you for your interest in this. This is a system that I have developed to help with making the videos that I make each week for our sermon. Uh, our pastor was interested in having music videos that we would play at the beginning or end of our of the sermon that would either introduce it or sum up the sermon. And what he was able to do was send the notes, and then he would I could basically generate the video based on the notes that he has sent. And we've done this for now basically, probably since January, for these off and on. And now, uh, from the it's been fairly consistent since he started this new series in called the Songs of Ascent with the Book of Psalms. And so it's been very good. However, it used to take me a long time. At the very beginning, it was a very manual process, and it would take me 8 hours. I would have to go and I would find clips from Invatu Elements. I would find it from other places like Lightstock and other places to find the clips, and then take those clips and then put them all together. And it would just take an awful long time to find it. And the process is basically, let me just actually show you what the whole process is. So it's basically taking and making a video here. And now what I've been able to do is I use Higgsfield has uses AI generated videos, and through that, but I've been able to create this system called ConnectGen, which is a basically 9-step process that goes through, and it will help me. And I use basically Claude to chat with Claude, and then it will use the system that I've generated to make all the way through to generate this. And I've taken that to really reduce the steps here through. I get the notes, turn it into a song, and then generate everything and get the YouTube video. So that's basically the flow there. So every week we get the sermon. Doing it by hand took a long time and doesn't scale. And if you are actually interested in having a sermon done by you, now I've got the process done so down to a science. I can basically get it done in about an hour and a half, if depending on the sermon topic and things like that. So if you are interested in maybe having a custom sermon video done for your church, hit me up and contact me. And if you want to send me your notes, then you might be interested in having this done. So I turned it into a process, and then it's a process that we can chat through, and I get this all done through. So basically, I talk to Claude, and Claude then will run through this system that I've developed, and it will also analyze things as well and help and make sure that the final video is a great way of making sure, and it will help me with any things that it might see is a something that might need to tweak in the process. So that's also a good way of leveraging the AI tools in the process that I've developed. So it's a good way. So there's a lot of tools that are used that are AI tools and non AI tools that are in the process. So we have AI tools that are um, basically a the AI tools will basically generate the lyrics, and what it does is it will first analyze the notes um, of of the sermon, and then determine the theme of the lyrics, and then it will actually determine and create original lyrics for that, and then it will actually analyze and generate characters with Nano Banana. And there's a way that you can do with a process so that characters do not they all look the same. And so there's a process that's built into the system to make sure that it all looks the same, so that if you have a character, say for instance Jesus, that it's all described the same way, so it's consistent characters and consistent different things. And so when we walk through all of this process, it will have a character sheet that it develops and things like that. And so it then, once we have the lyrics, then it will basically hear I send that lyric to Suno, and then it will go through that, and then we developed the characters, and then we generate the characters using Nano Banana to create the actual different uh, different images that are the basis for those. And from there we will generate different video clips from Higgs field using Cdance or Kling or Veo, and the various things that are available with Higgs field. And so that is the great way to do that. I see that we have some people in the chat. I see Francisco is there, so good to see Francisco. And that's great to see you. And so then we have, after we get all of the clips generated, then sometimes, depending on the style of the video, if I want to have it where it's sometimes I will use the video as like a band actually performing the song. And if it's that way, then sometimes I have it where the singer will actually need to have it lip synced to the and singing some of the lyrics of the songs. So then I have a tool, a phase where it will actually lip sync the different clips. So it will basically, the system will decide which clips need to be lip synced, and then there's a phase where it will say, let's lip sync those clips, and there's a tool that will allow it to do that. And then after that point, once we have everything, all the clips properly prepared, then I can bring it into DaVinci Resolve. And even at that point, there was a whole thing where I had to make sure the clips all wanted to be aligned properly to the beat. And so I even had it all lined up properly so that the clips got aligned properly to the beat, because if you don't get it lined up to the beat, it just also doesn't link get properly set up that way too. So there's a step there in the tool that basically aligns the clips properly. And so all of these tools, all of these different steps that it goes through, it will go through and align all of these in this ConnectGen tool that I've developed here. And so as you see, there's the notes stage, and then you develop the theme, then you create the lyrics, then you create the song using Suno. So you take the lyrics, you put it into Suno, then you create a storyboard from there, which will, from after you've created the song, it will determine the style of song that you want to do. And then from there, you can create the storyboard of how it's going to be. Like, you know, how long the song is. Generally, it's anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, depending on how epic the song is. And then once you have that, then you want to create and generate your characters from that. And then you generate your clips that you need to do to make that through there, and prepare all your clips, lip sync them all, and bring them all in. And then after that, you create and bring everything into Resolve and align them all. And finally, you put YouTube, and then I have a clip on the for the or a stage in the YouTube that will basically also generate the title for the song, the description for the song, and the thumbnail for the song, so that it's all really ready for the to actually produce it. And basically what it will do is I just put that out and publish it from Resolve as an unlisted video that I can basically share to the pastor or whoever's speaking, and say, here's the sermon video, and give it a listen. We'll play it tomorrow, and then I can basically schedule it later in the week for someone to actually see. And people really like that. It's a good reminder during the week that, hey, yeah, I remember that sermon, I remember whatever. And so it's an excellent wrap up of either introduction slash wrap up, and then good reminder during the week of, oh yeah, I remember that, what the pastor spoke about. So this week, we have a guest speaker, and he's speaking on Unless the Lord Builds the House, which is taken from Psalm 27. So I'll basically start with the process, and step one is going to be just scaffolding the whole project live, and then the real thing, and we'll just walk through the whole steps. And basically, as I said, I will use Claude and chat with it, and it's going to use the steps in the background to actually walk through and build the project. So uh, just to set the expectations here, it's not a one button thing where you just give it a prompt and then it goes and does it, because to just give it the notes and do that, you need a you need to walk through to get the best results. I've tried to, like, there are some tools out there that will allow it says out there, like Facebook, you can see things like, hey, just give it a song, or generate your song, and then go ahead and we'll make the video for you. But I've tried those, and they really don't give you good results that you really want for that. You want to really walk through the process and get a really good walk it through step by step and make sure that you want to do that. And the thing is, especially when you're generating different things, it does cost time and credits. And if you don't have if things go off, you want to make sure that each step, for instance, when you're looking at different generating images and things like that, you want to make sure that, okay, this doesn't really look the way that I really want it to do. And so you're the producer, you're the director, you want to know if you have a vision, and then that's really going to make sure that uh, you're going to get the results that you really want. So it's a hybrid thing. It's not totally automated. So that's great. So let's start and we'll see what the process is and we'll go through. So here we have, this is the sermon. The pastor's name, his name is Tim Lethbridge. And so what I'm going to do, actually, let me go through here to, uh, I basically have, this is the ConnectGen project here. And you can see the past projects here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell Claude that we're going to start the new project. So let's work on this week's sermon. It will be titled Unless the Lord Builds the House, and the passage is Psalm 127. And the speaker is Tim. Let me get his name right here. So it's now going to basically take that, and the first step that it does is it's going to generate and it's going to pick the date. So it should pick that it's the 26th, and it's going to organize things and get oriented, and it's going to create the project folder. As you see, it found the date, and then it's going to create the scaffold for it there. And there you can see, unless the Lord builds the house there. So, and it will basically get everything all set up for the project. And then it will tell me that the next step that we have to do in the process is drop the notes of the sermon into the notes folder. So we can just basically open this up, and you can see that there's the O1 notes folder. So step one is the notes. So what I can do is I can go to the thing here, and I can just basically download this here, and then I can go to my ConnectGen folder here, go to my projects here, and then here's the project here and notes here, and then I can just save this here. That's one note here. This is for this is the notes that he had for doing the basically for the PowerPoint, and then this is the full notes. And so we'll save both of these here, and we'll save them both there. So once we do that, then the next step, I'm just going to say we got that. Okay. So drop the file, paste it into there, go with the notes. So we'll say, okay, the notes are in the notes folder. Please take a look and do the next step. So it's going to take a look and analyze that, and it's going to start looking at and generate the lyrics. And so what it will do is there's actually two different versions of the lyrics that it has. One, it will try and generate the lyrics itself using Claude, and sometimes that works good. Or I've also found that OpenAI will also sometimes do a better job of generating the lyrics. Sometimes the lyrics from there are it does a better job. It seems the lyrics it comes up with are a little better for rhyming and things like that. So it will see what it's doing. So it will just put the lyrics in the lyrics folder. Actually, first it will basically generate a general theme of the of of the sermon, and so it will analyze things first. For the most part, this just you just have to wait for this. It doesn't really take that long to do, and then it comes back. There we go. So it will give a theme and possible suggestions. So the Tuffy problem, adults, self-sufficiency, uh, sleep as built-in evidence. Okay. Bread of anxious toil. Okay. Arrows aimed at the future. And then there, he also brings in some New Testament things. Mary's kitchen, Mary's floor. And then it gives an emotional arc as well. So we can see what it comes up with. So we can go with the next stage. So let's take a look. Let's work on the lyrics. And let's see, it will try and use Claude to generate things, and we'll see how Claude, what Claude comes up with first. And then if I don't like what Claude comes up with, then I will actually go and generate it with OpenAI. Sometimes, let's see here. So if we look at the lyrics folder, if we look at what it actually did for the theme, if we look at the theme, it will basically give you just a YAML text document that basically brings out the themes, and then it will actually just use these in the further steps for generating the character for different things about the different references that are in the sermon, and also the different references that are that it brought out there. So that's basically what it will do from that in the system here. So then the next thing it does with the lyrics is it will actually create the lyrics. So it has the first version of the lyrics here. So let's see here. I came in still half working, with the week inside my hands. Every plan I've been defending, every load I understand. I have risen with the darkness. I have stayed up past the light, eating bread that never fills me, calling right, doing right. I like that. It's got a good flow to it, and then it has a pre-chorus. You see the striving, you see the strain, you call us children, and you call us by name. Because I've done a number of these in bringing that into Suno, so I understand the type of lyrics here. And so let's see what the chorus has. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, even stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house you raise. I like that. That's a good lyric, pretty strong. And then I forget you, the breath you give me, you rise. Okay, yeah, I like the lyrics that it's come up with. You hold the weary, you hold the small. Your hands were open beneath it all. Yeah, I like these lyrics. So this week, it's done a good job. Let's take a look at the bridge. Then build my work, my table, build the ones who bear my name, build the children I would send out further than my years remain. I like that. Not a mist that thinks it's mountains. Not a mist that thinks it's mountains. Not a hand that thinks it's stone. Father, into your hands I give it. I am never on my own. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the outro. I can sleep now. I can sit down. I can breathe and let it be. The one who never slumbers is the one who's building me. I like that. Yeah. These are strong lyrics this time. And it gives also some production notes that I can put into the style for Suno to actually generate those. Let's see. Suggestion G major, modern worship ballad. Okay. Yeah, I think this is good. So this is excellent. So on to the next step is to actually generate the song. So what I can now basically do is I can go to Suno. So I have Suno up here on the created tab. And so what I can do is just take all of this, just copy everything here. And then I'm just going to paste it into the main area here. And then I'm going to grab this one here for, this is the title here. I'm going to just take this and just take it out of there. And then I'm going to put this into the, where's my, I think they might have changed. Where's the, I think I have to go to advanced. Yeah, advanced. Let's go back here. So they must have changed things around. Gotta love when they do that. All right, so we want to take this out of here, and then we want to put the song title in here. Get rid of the number sign there, and then down at the bottom here, these production stuff here, we want to take that and we want to stick that into the style here, and then just get rid of these here. Like so. Let's get rid of that here. Just like that. And that's basically all that we need to do that. And then we can click create here and let it go and do its thing for Suno. So and we'll see how it comes up with something, and you should be able to see listen to the song, because I think I've got things set up so that you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Came still half working with the week inside my hands.
Let me try and turn it up a bit.
Plan I've been defending, every load I understand. I have risen with the darkness, I have stayed up past the light, eating bread that never fills me, calling worry doing right. You see the striving, you see the strain. You call us children, and you call us by name. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the war, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, every stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house you raise. I forget the breath you give me, forget the hours nightly when I'm helpless in my rest. I lie down and lose the whole world, and you keep me till it's day. What a mercy in the morning that the keeping wasn't mine. You hold the weary, you hold the small. Your hands were open beneath it all. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, every stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house you raise. Then build my work, my table, build the ones who bear my name, build the children I would send out further than my years remain.
I'm gonna stop this. If you look at down here, it says this is like 6 minutes. That's a long sermon intro song. This would be more for a feature song. Let me see what this other song is here. That looks like it's only 4 minutes. Let's see if that's actually better.
I came still half working, with the week inside my hands. Every plan I've been defending, every load I understand. I have risen with the darkness, I've stayed up past the light, eating bread that never fills me, calling worry doing right. You see the striving, you see the strain. You call us children and you call us by name. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, every stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house house. Let me lay the striving down unless the Lord keeps the wall. I will rest inside this town. Take the bread of anxious labor. Take the outcome, take the day. For the house that stands forever is the house you raise. I can sleep now. I can sleep now. I can sit down. I can sit down. I can breathe and let it be. The one who never slumbers is the one who's building me.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll go with the second version of that. Um, so I last week I did a version where it was a band playing it, and so I used lip sync to actually have the people sing the song. This week, using that second version of the song, I'm thinking as you listen to it, you want to like think about how that how what's the best way of presenting that song. And so I'm thinking that listening to that, I don't think having someone like sing that song is the best way of doing it. It should be more of a visualization of the song. So it's like uh, clips visualizing what is being sung about. So it's like, uh, acts of service, building up, and things like that. So that's what I'm thinking, steering the clips being generated that way. So I think we'll go with that. So let's go back here. And the next step is to basically decide this is going to be uh, this version here. So what we need to do is just basically, oh, I think I lost my mouse here. So we'll just click download, and then we want to download the Wave Audio Pro version of the song. And then we click download here. And then we want to go back here, and then we want to put it into the song folder. And we want to save that there. And then we want to also, what I like to do is, although it's not really that necessary this week because we're not actually doing much lip syncing, you can get the stems from Suno as well, which helps with generating any lip sync stuff here. But let's just do this and extract those as well, because then it's good to have that in case we do want to potentially do a little bit of lip syncing on any of things. But I don't really think that we want to do that. But generally what this actually does is Suno will separate out the vocals and the instrumentation of the different instruments that are part of the track. And then what you can do is the ConnectGen system will take and use the vocals to use that to be able to, in the lip sync phase, allow it to make sure that when if the vocal will sing, then it will make sure that it looks like that it will work, and see that it properly looks like they're actually singing, or the drums will actually potentially hit properly on that. So it will almost done here. Let me just play this here. Okay, so then we just need to click download here, and then just click download, and then this puts this as a zip here, and then we just put that, save this here, and once that is done, then we just go back to, that's good, and we go back to our project and say the lyrics were good, and I have generated the song and put it as well as the stems from Suno in the song folder. Please analyze it and move on to the next step. And now it will take a look at that. It'll find out and see what the key was, the tempo was, and determine the length of the song and everything like that, and then be able to look at that, determine that there were 9 stems that were there. So that's good. So it'll be potentially ready for the lip sync if we do that. Excuse me. And then it will actually analyze and confirm that Suno possibly followed the style of the key and things like that. If it doesn't, then no big deal. It's not like we're actually singing it. There was a song that I did maybe 3 weeks ago that everyone really enjoyed. It was a more of a Celtic song, and there was one of the people on the worship team that really enjoyed it and said, I would like the actual music for it because I'd like to actually play it and get, some other people that I play with as well to actually play it too. And so there's a I figured out a way to basically get the chords and other things so that I was able to give him the lead and music for it, so that he was able to figure out and be able to play it himself. So it's amazing what you can do these days. You create a song and then you can actually determine the music notes for it as well. So we'll see. It shouldn't be too much longer for it to finish analyzing this song. There we go. Audio analyzed. Oh, it's running in the background. Okay. So basically, once I told the system that the lyric version that it had, it decided, okay, then the lyrics are final. So it copied the lyrics to a final version here that you can see. And so it knows that that's the final versions there. And the reason it does that is that when it goes to any time that it needs to do lip syncing and timing, then it will view the final version of the lyrics as the set in stone version of that to relate to that. Because sometimes, as I said, I go and do different versions to get to the actual final version of the lyrics. So once it finishes analyzing the song, then the next step is to storyboard it. And as I said, we will probably go through and have it do just visualizing the clips. And so I will just kind of direct it towards that, and it will basically take the uh, theme that it's already done in the theme stage and take that and come up with characters to determine the best way to visualize that and put it into the storyboard. So I think Claude might be pretty busy these today. Why it takes a little bit longer sometimes as opposed to others. I know that sometimes I watch the system, and sometimes it has a you know it can have some problems with it, but generally it's fairly stable. So this is why sometimes it can take only an hour. Sometimes it takes me an hour and a half. And so, but generally, that's why the song that was like 6 minutes, it would take, a lot longer. So you want to keep it between 3 to, you know, 5 minutes. I think 6 minutes would be, uh, again, way longer than it needs to be. I'm not sure. I would even say don't even go there unless that song is like an epic style of thing, and it's just like amazing that you want to go and spend the time. Okay. So it's done. So we see that it's good. Okay. Audio is done. So 4 minutes and 9 seconds. So it looks at that. Structure is good. The intro, instruments, verses, it basically analyzed that. So 148 worth a note. And so that's actually, it so oftentimes will double the amount, but it's actually probably just the 70 that it actually was in the original. Okay, so stage 5 is the next stage. This is generated the shot list from the timed lyrics. Okay. So it's automatically running the storyboard here based on all that it has done there. So it's going to automatically run it because it already understands what the theme is. And this is where I will basically look at the storyboard and see what it's actually come up with here, and just review that, because then once you get into this phase and then the character phase, to actually, this is where it's starting to actually generate the visuals, and the visuals is where you really want to see what it's going to come up with, because these are the building blocks that it does. And if the building blocks, again, this is an actually excellent song, you know, uh, of what the whole process is, because if your building blocks are not good, then your song isn't, or your end result isn't going to turn out well. So, okay, storyboard is Claude's call running in the background. So it's still working on that, and we'll see what it does here. I want some music while we're waiting. Okay, there we go. It should be done now. Okay, so it came up with 37 shots of the uh, things, and because it's a visualization, it came up with 20 different characters from different, um, so it's different. Sometimes it'll have like recurring characters of, say, like Mary and Jesus, but with the different themes, it has like multiple different characters that it's coming up through. And so the system's kind of designed to have the different characters that are there, and so characters can be people, places, and different things, so that it will be consistent if the character uh, is reused in different scenes, or might be like, for instance, if Moses in one scene and then maybe Moses is in another scene, then it needs to be uh, described consistently, so Moses is still the same Moses, but done drawn the same way. So let's take a look and see what it has here. So if we look at these here, we have storyboard here, and we look at the shot list, and so we can see basically all of the 37 shot lists here. And basically what it's basically came up with is the each of these shots that have different prompts of medium shots and different characters that are here. So a weary builder with a modern in modern times, and then it basically tells it where what each of these shots are, where it actually is in the song. And so it's modern, present. Sometimes it'll be in the past, sometimes it'll be in the future. Well, probably not in the future, but like in the present, but sometimes it'll be in biblical times, etc. And so it will just basically find when it actually starts, when it stops, and it just figures everything out so that it knows when it's going to put everything together, and then how to actually generate things. And so this is what it will do. And then the next thing it will do, you can see this is basically the storyboard and shot list here. And so it gives the summary of stuff here. So we have the Weary Builder Modern, the Family Kitchen, Young Child Modern. Then we have an ancient thread where it talks about ancient stonemason, ancient watchman, ancient hill town. So these are all things that it's going to come up with. And then a half-framed house, which is another quote character that it's come up with. And so this is basically the structured highlights that it's come up with, and then how it's all going to put it through here. So that's basically, now that we have the storyboard all set up, then the next step is to generate the characters. So it actually will go through and generate images that we can actually do, and it's going to run it now. I think it's actually running this character reference now, and it makes a reference sheets here that will do. So character stage is Claude running in the background, so it's running it here. So stage 6 is done. So it's character YAML. And so if we look at this here, so what it actually does is it takes the characters and then it puts it into different ancient into directories here. So if we look at this, we have everything kind of scaffolded out with the different prompts that it has. So if we look at the prompt for this, then it's going to take that and then actually go through and start generating that So everything's all basically set up, ready to actually generate the actual images here. So this is now where it's going to start costing us credits. Now, when I say credits, I was able to, back in, I guess it was January, when we first started making these videos, I got in on a really great deal from Higgsfield that allowed me to get in on what's their creator plan, which gave me 6,000 credits a month for 85% off the normal rate. And so that gives you 6,000 credits that will basically expire at the end of the month. So if you don't use it, you lose it. However, it because of the amount of videos that I generate, I haven't hit the total amount of credits that I do, but I can also buy some more credits if I need to as well. But it's a great plan, so that is why I can actually do this. So I can actually go through and do that. Okay, so let's see. Auth. Okay, I need to actually go through and reauthorize myself. Sometimes you have to do that because you're so let me just do this. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, it didn't do that, so let's do this. I apologize for this. We'll just bring it up and authorize this. There we go. Should be all right now. Okay, there we go. So now it will basically, this is what basically allowed me to automate all of this stuff, and now it will allow me to do all of this from this step on, where it will just, I can just kind of walk away now, because if you look at this, what it's actually done is take a look at and analyze everything, and it gives me a total cost of how many credits this is actually doing for this one. So it's going to cost me 1,050 credits for this video. So we're going to say, all right, yes, let's do it all. And we're going to click all MCP. There weren't any ones that were manual credits. Sometimes it will give me the option to manually do some that I can actually go onto the website and do paste in the prompt and generate the videos manually, which saves some credits. Although I've found that it's really not worth doing the manual process because it's really doesn't save that many credits, and it's just easier for it to just do an automated process. And so just let it go and do the credits for it, because it would be only a thing where if I'm like really low on credits and I don't really want to buy any extra credits, that would be the time that I'd want to actually do manual credits. Because in the creator thing that I do have some, when I generate nano banana images, I can do that for free. And there's also some uh, free plan on the video that I can actually generate like shorter clips for free. And so I could do that, but basically, depending on the length of the clip and what video generator it uses, then it won't let me, I can't use that. But with this, it's all generated automatically. And so we're all setting things up. So at this point in time, this is all going to be automatically done for me. And at this point, generally, it's going to generate everything. And mostly other weeks, I'll just kind of walk away or go do something else while it's doing this. And once it's done that, then I can move on to the next step, and which is basically just bringing it into Resolve. So we're at step 6 and 7. So actually, we're actually into step 7, which is the clips here. And so you can see here what it would do is it's going to basically put all of the clips into the Higgs field directory here, and it will do that. The other things that it will do is sometimes I will decide, maybe I've previous times there are places that I know, oh yeah, I know that there's a good clip that I want to use from stock places like Envato Elements or Light Stock and things like that. So I can actually find it and put it in the stock directory there and say, use that clip and things like that. So it's very versatile in terms of the way that you want to determine the way that you want to use the resources that you have in the system to properly get the direction that you want to go. So this is basically going to do its thing, run the phases there, and we'll see how it will do. But I don't know that we really need to take the time here. Let me see. Let me ask how long it might take on how long this phase will take. And we'll see, because there's, as you can see, it's gonna 71 pending entries of generating the images and then generating the videos. So it can take quite a while, so it could take anywheres up to 20 to 30 minutes of time to do. So this is where the bulk of the time is for the actual time that is taken, but it's not time that is things that I actually have to do. This is just time that is time that has to be done, but not time that I am doing. So let's see what it says here. So depending on this, what I might do is we can just stop this and I might just do a part two of finishing this off, because part two is maybe just another 10 minutes of aligning the clips and bringing it in, and the YouTube clips are, it just generates the description and title and the thumbnail, and that's really not much longer to do as well. So we'll see. It's still actually thinking about the previous run of stuff. It isn't even thinking about how long this phase is actually taking, but it takes a little bit. Let me see. Let's listen to the song that it's generated here. I can go back and listen to the song again. Let's go back to that and just listen to it while it's doing its thing. Just give it another listen too. Sometimes I like to listen to that just to know when it's coming to the actual song, and because sometimes when I'm looking at it in Resolve, I want to see how it's going to actually flow in there. So let's just listen to the song here.
A king still half working, with the week inside my hands. Every plan I've been defending, every load I understand. I have risen with the darkness, I've stayed up past the light, eating bread that never fills me, calling worry doing right. You see the striving, you see the strain. You call us children and you call us by name. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, every stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house you raise. I forget the breath you give me, every rising of my chest. I Forget the hours nightly when I'm helpless in my rest. I lie down and lose the whole world, and you keep me till it's day. What a mercy in the morning that the keeping wasn't mine. You hold the weary, you hold the small. Your hands were open beneath it all. Unless the Lord builds the house, we are laboring in vain. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, we are watching for the rain. So I bring you what I'm holding, every stone I cannot lay, for the house that stands forever is the house you raise. Then build my work, my table, build the ones who bear my name, build the children I would send out further than my years remain. Not a mist that thinks it's mountains, not a hand that thinks it's stone. Father, into your hands I give it. I was never on my own. Unless the Lord builds the house, let me lay the striving down. Unless the Lord keeps the wall, I will rest inside this town. Take the bread of anxious labor,